Dr. Morden Solis was a Solarian scientist recruited by Commander Shepard to help fight the Collectors and find a solution to the Collectors' swarms, which froze people. He ran a free clinic on Omega. He had a passion for science and the arts. He loved Gilbert and Sullivan, and he also harbored a dark secret. Morden Solus modified the genophage, which was a sterility plague given to the Krogan, who his people uplifted to fight the Rachni in the Rachni War. After the war, the Galactic Council pulled back on the promises made to the newly uplifted Krogan people, and their leader declared war against the galaxy, so the Solarians released the genophage, a sterility plague that made one Krogan in 1,000 fertile, and their birth rate was extremely low, and it almost wiped out the Krogan people. Eventually, the Krogan system began to adapt and the genophage became less effective. Morden's team was tasked with modifying the genophage, something that would go on to haunt him for the rest of his life. And he reveals this to Commander Shepard through conversations on the Normandy. And despite the fact that he always defends it, that genophage rate call, you get the sense that he's only trying to convince himself. Underneath this scientist with this quirky, hyperactive personality that likes to help people, that does things like set up free clinics in dangerous cities to help people, is a deeply troubled individual who has emotional scars we can't begin to comprehend. Later on, he would go to ask Shepard for help. A Solarian scientist was working on a cure for the genophage, but he was going to give it to a brutal Krogan clan, and nothing good would have come from it. While this was going on, Ugnaught Rex was on Tuchanka, unifying and stabilizing the Krogan people, and his clan would have been the first to be overrun. So Shepard takes Morden to go after Malin, and along the way they have more conversations about the genophage, and Morden reveals that after he worked on it, he went back to Tuchanka to catalog the results, and he said he had to do it. He needed to see the results up close, see the consequences. And there are points in the conversations where he takes a breath before continuing to talk. It's almost as if he wants to break down crying, but he won't allow himself. And after finding a dead female Krogan, he reveals he even studied other religions from various cultures after working on the genophage. I think the reason he did things like open up the free clinic on Omega was because it was the only way he could live with the guilt of what he did. Eventually, after finding Malin, he poses the question what to do with the results. Yeah, it was brutal, but this could still lead to a cure for the genophage. Shepard, seeing that he does have a legitimate desire to help the Krogan people, convinced him to use the research to help the Krogan people, which he did not do right away because he prioritized the Collectors as the bigger threat, Morden being a very ends justify the means person. But after the events in Mass Effect 2, the Salarians went back to Tuchanka and abducted female Krogan that survived the experiments and were fertile. Mordin was signed on the group working with them, and he became a contact for Ugnaught Rex on Tuchanka, revealing their existence. Not long after that, the Reapers would invade the galaxy, and the Taurians needed the Krogan people to help defend Palaven. Shepard was amassing a fleet to defeat the Reapers and had to play diplomat. Being friends with Ugnaught Rex, he had more political leeway than most would have. But it wasn't enough. Rex wanted a cure for the genophage. He knew one existed. He knew about the female Krogan, and Shepard and the Primarch of the Taurian people went along with it, much to the dismay of the Salarian Dalatros. They went to the capital of the Salarian homeworld, Surkesh, and Shepard found out Mordin was the contact, and there was still one fertile female Krogan left that he had dubbed Eve. After a fight with Cerberus, they brought her aboard the Normandy, and between her DNA and samples from Rex, they were able to synthesize a cure. It became determined that the only way to efficiently spread the cure was in a device called the Shroud, built by the Salarians to stabilize the Krogan atmosphere after nuclear war. But the Shroud was also the thing that spread the genophage. The Salarian Dalvatros would contact Shepard and tell her how the Shroud, tell him or her, depending how you play the game, that the Shroud had a safeguard against distributing a cure, in that if you play dumb, don't say a thing, I will send all our scientists to help work on the Crucible, the device that could kill the Reapers. Shepard, not willing to throw an entire species under the bus and stab a close friend under the back, revealed it. After Rex telling him, no matter what happens here today, you have been a friend, a champion to the Krogan people, a friend to Clan Ugnaught, and a brother to me, and that after this day, to every Krogan born, the name Shepard will mean hero. They had a fight getting to the Shroud and had to summon the mother of all Thresher Maws to kill the Reaper that was there. And Mordin, knowing about the adjustments needed to be made to properly distribute the cure, took an elevator to the top of the Shroud, and before stepping off the elevator, he took a deep breath and closed his eyes. It was in this moment, I believe for the first time since seeing what his modifications did to the Krogan people, that he was able to breathe easy, that he was able to respect himself. He overrid the STG modifications, singing Gilbert and Sullivan, dying with a song in his heart and a smile on his face, content that he finally made right on his biggest regret. The man who modified the genophage gave his life curing the Krogan people and giving birth to one of the most beautiful scenes in Mass Effect 3, the first time where you, the player, feel a tinge of hope that this war could end well. But it was paid for at the cost of a great character. Mordin Solus was a complex, layered character who was deeply scarred and beloved by the Mass Effect fans for how well he was written. So that was Morden. What do you think? Would you like to see more videos on Mass Effect characters? Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Over and out.